Don't touch that dial, for this podcast is being invaded by the Drive-In Mutants.
So, do we have a little bit of time to talk about Tom and Jerry the movie?
We two are friends to the end.
Hey, my friend.
I'd rather watch that fucking movie.
So do I. At least it's a more memorable train wreck.
I made a post about this on Facebook and Twitter saying how I believe this was going to follow the same paint by numbers bullshit that most live action cartoon movies do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I'm a prophet. It's just so predictable.
Before we tear this movie a new one, I just want to say I just want to have a piece to say here about this. First off, I really want to give a big shout out to the animators who worked on this movie. It's not. I just want to say it's not your fault, and here's why I want to pay tribute to these people, because this is what they have to do. These are people who pay good money to go through all these elaborate colleges, whether it's Expression College or Cal Arts or what have you. Pick a school. They have big dreams. They go out there and they say, "I want to be an animator," and they have big career goals set out before them. They finally get there in their studio. They're in there on their first day, and they say, "Yes, this is it. I have my own pet project. I want to lay down in the future with great character, great plot, great music in the background, great animation, and this is going to be my first day to make a terrific impression." And what do they do at the end of the day? They come home, talk to their significant other. "Hey, honey, how's your first day at work?" I animated a rapping pigeon taking a shit in another pigeon's face for no apparent reason.
To get to hear about your best friends on my job working as this animation, it's like, my best friend worked on this. I'm excited to see it. I see the first minute. The fuck is this shit? Oh yeah, that was the first minute of this movie. A pigeon fucking shits on another pigeon. The first minute of the movie.
It took that long to get to the big screen.
How long?
2009.
Oh yeah, this
Jesus!
You had 12 years to make a good movie. They were talking about making this movie as far back as when they were proposing the Yogi Bear movie. Go on.
Could have been worse.
Shut up.
Could have been the Goodfellas doing that shtick.
No, that was different. The Goodfellas what kind of made that funny. It's like, oh, what's this? Am I some kind of toilet for you?
No, Bobby, I said you got shit-faced.
Oh, it's because I look like a piece of shit? Is that what you're saying?
I'm looking at the animation studio that did this movie, and
like, did they do anything else before this?
Some good stuff, some not so good stuff.
What's the good stuff they done?
Okay, they won an Oscar for Best Visual Effects for The Golden Compass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They were nominated in 2009 for The Dark Knight and 2010 for Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 1. Tim Weber was a visual effects supervisor on Gravity, and the company Framework, took 3 years to do that, and they won a Best Visual Effects Award at the BAFTA Award for Best Visual Effects at the British Academy Film Awards. They also got some award work for Blade Runner 2049, and they also did some special graphic work for the HBO His Dark Materials TV series. So it's not like they've done bad work per se. They've assisted with tons of other things. I mean, they've even worked on stuff like Paddington 2 and live-action Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, Paddington 2 I actually put over the first Paddington movie.
So they have like a long list of like hit and miss sort of material. I mean, on one hand you have, I don't know, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which they helped out on, and on the other hand you have Pan, The Matrix 4 that's upcoming, Army of the Dead, Doolittle, Wonder Woman 1984. They also did Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Spider-Man Far From Home, Dumbo, Alita Battle Angel. It's a very, very long list of hit-miss stuff.
Our animator friend suddenly starts to have visions after this.
Yeah.
And he starts to have fantasies. He pictures himself among the echelons in a crowd with all the other animators who have made their mark throughout history. In the front row, you have the greats. You have Don Bluth, Glenn Keane, Richard Williams, Pixote Hunt, Disney's Nine Old Men. You know, even Edward Muybridge is up there. Let's throw the pioneers up there, who paved the way for the greatness. Somewhere in the middle of this crowd, you've got folks like I don't know, Richard Rich maybe. And then here he is, sitting in the back row he finds himself sandwiched between two people. And he says to them, "So, what are you back here for?" "Shh. I'm the guy who animated Scooby-Doo's flapping, farting butt cheeks in the Scooby-Doo movies." "And what are you in here for?" "Shh. I'm the animator that animated the shit-eating reindeer from 8 Crazy Nights."
You're forgetting one important aspect.
What?
The guy who animated Spike taking a shit in the middle of New York City.
Yep.
They're in that crowd, too. At least that was off camera, but still.
So I get this straight. Everyone lives in a universe with cartoon animals that they can use as pets and eat. Does that mean if they shit, it's a cartoon shit?
Howdy ho!
Exactly!
It's fucking...
Spike gives birth to Hanky Poo.
Oh my god.
Outside of just the nitpicks like that, I was siding with Tom pretty much off the bat. You know, I picked it apart in my head while watching. I said, "What's the formula that works with the original Tom and Jerry shorts? 7 minutes long. Cat's chasing the mouse. Some cat gets a comeuppance. Sometimes, most of the time in the beginning, Tom's starting shit or something like that. And the rule of comeuppance is at play. But but this movie sort of takes all of that, throws it to the side. Jerry is a punk from the get-go.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Everybody has questionable ethics here. Tom comes into New York trying to make it big as a musician. He's ripping...
Oh yeah, that goes nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we should warn people. Spoilers. Not that anyone cares.
Who wants to hear spoiler? It's about this horrible Tom and Jerry movie. Nobody?
Yeah, I seriously
don't give a shit.
I seriously thought it was going to go somewhere.
By the way,
John Legend.
John Legend's in this movie.
A picture of John Legend. Yeah, Tom early on is trying to rip people off by convincing them he's a blind cat playing a piano. Because
they ripped off the pest.
Yes!
I didn't realize that.
I can't see because I'm
blind. Jerry comes in, starts macking in on his territory. He later moves into the hotel without paying, and then he takes advantage of Chloe Grace Moritz's character by saying, "I've stolen the wedding ring for a wedding that's going on here, and so if you want this, you're gonna have to let me stay here." What a manipulative little bastard.
And earlier when she sets up the mouse trap, he's like, "Oh, you gotta do better than." He has like bills all over the mouse trap. I thought I was gonna go into a joke where she picks up some of the bills and her hand gets caught in the mouse trap.
I thought the exact same.
That would have been at least something. And then she would have screamed like, "Dumb!" Ah!
Oh yeah, by the way, they do have some of the classic screams from the cartoon, but it's so poorly done in. It's like they could have like done like a remaster of like some of it, but no, it's from some guy's fucking DVD of the cartoon.
Well, that's not the first time they did that, because the Flintstones did that too with Mel Blanc's Dino voice.
Also, the part where they had like Tom try to come in the hotel with the balloons, after some of them pop, when he's going away, I legit thought he did the Goofy scream.
So did I!
It did sound like that.
It's like, well, one person is going to be getting a lawsuit from Mickey.
Yeah, this is the film. We have three unlikable characters working at a hotel. We have nobody really to root for. Chloe Grace Moritz rips off somebody else's resume going while applying for the job. Not at a hotel where they apparently don't give you an ID check or a background check before you get to work there.
You're supposed to be. So you're supposed to be this other person. You're
an example.
I saw this PDF of someone's resume online. This actually looks very similar to the other person.
But, okay, benefit of the doubt, this is clearly a cartoon environment. It's clear that it's going by its own cartoon rules. Then why in the hell do you have a little fish in a bowl and yet a fish market with dead cartoon fish? I'm sorry, there's limits to this universe. Somewhere out there, there's a Jimmy Durante turkey being served on someone's table going, looks like I'm stuffed at last. Get a leg up me. Ah-cha-cha.
Also, I almost redeemed this movie for one thing. I almost did. Is that the slapstick is very in tune with the cartoons, but most of the time, most of them is references to moments in the cartoon. Like, for example, when Tom is hitting Spike over the head, it does the bit where he gets the bump, he pushes it down, then another bump comes up. I found that kind of funny, but the problem is, if I wanted to see a moment from the cartoon, I would just watch the fucking cartoon.
So would I. If I want to see Mammy Two Shoes, no, I shouldn't go that direction.
I was like, also, I went like this. It's like, oh wow, Tom's Batman. Get it? Because those are two properties of Warner Brothers.
And also Hannibal Lecter.
If you really wanted a droopy voice, just hire me.
They already had the fucking droopy cameo. It was him as Joker.
Yeah, and then later he's there as Hannibal Lecter, and that's what ruined it.
No, it's like, you already had the droopy cameo.
It seems like such a minor thing. Yeah, brought up in the chat. Spoiler alert. They go to a pound in one scene, and Droopy has a cameo saying hello. Not like that other movie from '92.
I want to see somebody reanimate this. I want to see fucking Droopy as Joker. Goes, what happens when you get to be part of a society who abandons them and treats them like trash? Oh. I'll tell you what you get. You get what you fucking deserve. The next thing he starts driving around in the police car like Heath Ledger's Joker in Dark Knight.
I'm so glad that me and Dan pointed out the inconsistency of editing, because...
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, because in Young Frankenstein, it's not the third switch. No, I mean, yes, no, the third switch, I say, life can make creation life. In this one, they show that life can make creation life. They show Todd with Marty Feldman eyes. What the fuck was up with that? And he's chasing Jerry, and you're in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Third switch, not the third switch.
Obviously. Listen, you gotta understand, Morgan. This movie's made for kids. Kids definitely know Young Frankenstein.
I was that age when I watched the movie.
They must have known it, when they were swimming in their dad's ballsack.
Case in point, this is just not a good movie. But when you
don't see it,
sorry, go ahead.
But when you make the major comparison, what is this movie about? What is the driving force behind this? Well, at this hotel, they have to make sure that a wedding between two rich people gets pulled off without a hitch. That's our
its own movie.
That's our major conflict throughout this entire movie. They decided this was good enough for feature film. They put $50 million behind this. Go back to 1992. We have a story involving an orphan girl who's risking losing her inheritance to an evil nanny.
Rescuers.
Yeah. But at least it's a good. At least it's a conflict that's worth committing time to. What, a wedding between rich people? I don't freaking care.
Wait, James. I gotta ask this question. I gotta ask this really, really better. What would you rather see? A Tom and Jerry conflict over a wedding, or a movie that has a chase scene that involves a cat and mouse driving a ship trying to save the daughter of Tom Selleck Indiana Jones while being chased by a purple people eater, a dog on a skateboard sounds like Gollum, a performing ship captain, his hand puppet, 2 Mexican wrestlers, and a pedophiliac doctor Nazi riding an ice cream cart.
I'd rather see that.
Welcome to the mindfuck!
Paranoid, everybody's trying to get me.
At least that movie knew how to do a chase scene. This movie has a chase scene in the end of it, and it's just like you could cut that chase scene out of it, and the movie would flow.
My big issue with this movie. So we all know some of the big flops with cartoon live action movies. You know, the Scooby-Doo movies, Yogi Bear, Smurfs, Woody Woodpecker. So later. And like, you know, they have like the obvious things that can be in those movies. You know, like the fart jokes, the misunderstanding, the idiotic writing, the cringe dialogue from the human characters. Some of those movies were to late 2000 and late 2010s. So what is it about Tom and Jerry that infuriates me so much? Because it's 2021. The fact that they still do these type of tropes with these paint-by-numbers live-action movies is, like, insulting. And I know it's like, oh, well, you gotta understand, it's just a baby movie. Fuck off. Seriously, just fuck off.
There's been so many incarnations of Tom and Jerry when you think about
it. Yeah, because there's so many incarnations of them.
And like, it gets to this one. Their big live-action outing. If this came out in the 1990s, maybe it would get a pass because it would be done in a different direction or a different way. Hell, maybe they would just have traditional animation in live action instead of computer drawn. I'd be okay with that. But because we come so far in this time and age where we're seeing new and different stories, new and different things, how does this compare to all the other things that we've seen? We see them in Willy Wonka, we've seen them in Oz, we've seen them as kids, we've seen Tom and Jerry Tales.
Yeah, but here's the thing: it's like when I compare this to the other live action cartoon movies, it's like they have the same thing. They have the misunderstanding. They have the fart jokes. They have where they essentially treat the younger audience like an idiot. This one does not have a new gear. Get a new act.
There's one that didn't treat the audience like idiots. The Flintstones movie from 1994.
That one gets a pass.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
And at least Brian Levant was trying to channel the adult sensibilities of the show.
Hell. You know what?
We should do that one this summer.
Here's the thing. Because I mentioned this on Twitter and Facebook in that post I have with it, and I mentioned it to James. The problem with this is like what I have with, say, what they're doing with the direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movies, or what they do with this one. I don't mind the idea of them making a new movie like it, based off of Tom and Jerry, or doing something with Scooby-Doo. My issue with it is that Warner Brothers, or the people who make these, just simply mishandle the property. They always fuck it up in some sort of way. And you know what the funny thing about this was? When I saw this trailer back in November of last year, do you know what the funny thing is?
What?
I wanted to be wrong. I really did. I want, like, hopefully, because I was expecting, like, highbrow, it's a tour de force, like, comedy from Tom and Jerry. Like, just something that doesn't treat little kids, like, that doesn't, like, talk down to them, that doesn't give them, like, BS or make them act stupid. The fact that they're still releasing movies like this for kids and not doing anything, not making them seem smart or anything, not only is it insulting, it makes me fucking furious.
Exactly.
Because, like, you know what? I think I'm just running on fumes at this point. I'm basically screaming at a brick wall.
Movie bad.
Movie bad.
Fuck this movie.